You'll pay for Lily's college. If you don't come back home. Those were the first words my mother said to me on my graduation day. No congratulations. No pride. Just a quiet threat, slipped between applause and camera flashes sharp enough to slice through the moment I'd worked years for. I didn't argue. I didn't flinch. I just stood there gripping the edge of my gown while the crowd celebrated behind us, unaware that my future had been rewritten in a single sentence. What my mother didn't know was this. I'd already discovered something earlier that morning, something she never meant for me to hear, before that graduation day, before the threat, whispered between applause and camera flashes. My life had been carved by a quieter kind of eraser, one that began long before I turned 18, when I was 10. My world still had color. My father, Adrian, would wake me before sunrise, tapping lightly on my door so we wouldn't disturb anyone. We'd ride our bikes through the neighborhood, the morning air sharp and clean, our wheels humming in sync. He coached me through my track meets, shouting my name across the field, his voice cutting through every cheer. Back then, I ran because he believed I could fly. When he died, everything slowed. The house grew quieter, not with grief, but with a kind of reshaping. My mother, Marissa, began smoothing over pieces of me she didn't like. She replaced my running shoes with ballet flats, my jerseys with dresses, my medals with makeup kits I never asked for. Girls your age don't need all that running, she'd say, tugging at my hair while avoiding my reflection in the mirror. At first, I thought it was grief misdirected. Then it became a pattern. 3 years later, she remarried. Ethan came with tidy smiles and a daughter, Lily, 9 years old, pretty, delicate, and everything my mother wished I were. She arrived carrying pink suitcases, lace dresses, and a soft voice she used only in front of adults. The moment they left the room, the softness vanished. She hid my homework the night before a major test. She poured nail polish over my favorite track jersey. She unplugged my alarm so I'd wake up late for school. Every time I tried to speak up, Marissa dismissed it with a tired sigh. She's younger than you, Hazel. Stop exaggerating. Ethan nodded like that settled everything. One morning after Lily locked the bathroom for almost an hour, I had to wash my face in the kitchen sink while Marissa scolded me for making a scene. Each small humiliation piled on top of the last, shaping me into something quiet, something careful, something she could ignore without guilt. By high school, I learned to stop asking for anything. The kettle's already on. I walked off campus without saying goodbye to anyone. The sun was warm on my skin, but inside everything felt cold, clean, sharp, ready. Her house looked the same as always, small, warm, safe. The smell of chamomile wrapped around me like a blanket. She took one look at my face and didn't ask what happened. Sit, she said gently. Start from wherever you can. I told her everything. She didn't interrupt once. When I finished, she reached across and squeezed my wrist. Hazel, she said quietly. I heard that call. Every word. I froze. You what? She didn't know the line was open, Grandma said. She slipped. I heard exactly what you heard. My chest tightened, not with fear this time, but with validation. Come with me, she said. She opened a low drawer and pulled out documents, contracts, savings records, property paperwork. This house, she said, resting her palm on the top page, is in my name. It always has been, and she knows that. That's why she's been circling me like a vulture. That's why she wants you out. My breath hitched. I'm old, Hazel, she said softly. Old enough to see people reveal who they are when they think no one is watching. She looked at me, but she forgot one thing. A pause. I am watching. Then she set the papers in front of me. We're going to fix this. She called her attorney and scheduled an appointment for the next morning. Paperwork transfer, she said, and a will update. Grandma, I'm not doing this because she hurt you, she said. I'm doing this because you survived more than she ever saw. You never once asked me for anything. This house should go to the person who knows the value of a home. That night, I stayed in the guest room. The soft clinking of her teacups drifted down the hallway. Tomorrow, Marissa's terms would end. The next morning, the sky hung gray. We drove to the notary's office in silence. The attorney greeted her warmly. It's time, she said simply. The signing wasn't dramatic, just pens, paper, seals, line after line. She transferred the house into my name. Then she updated her will, everything to me. When it was done, she closed the folder and handed it to me. Let's go home. Not her home, not Marissa's home, my home, but when we pulled into the driveway, Marissa's car was already there. She stood on the porch with Ethan and Lily, arms folded, jaw tight. "What is this?" she demanded. "Why didn't you come home last night? Where were you this morning?" "I was handling paperwork," Grandma said. "For what?" "For the house." Marissa blinked. "What about the house?" "It's no longer yours to assume," Grandma said. She handed me the notarized deed. Marissa snatched it, scanning the page. No. This must be wrong. This house is supposed to go to me." "You said I said nothing," Grandma replied. "You assumed." "This is insane," Marissa shouted. "You're giving my future away to her." She jabbed a finger at me. "She is your daughter," Grandma said quietly. "Something you seem to have forgotten, Lorraine." Ethan stepped forward. "Don't you think you should reconsider? Think about Lily's needs." "I have," Grandma said sharply. "For years." Marissa's voice cracked. "You can't do this. You can't just throw us out." Grandma raised a hand. "You have 1 hour." The words dropped like stones. 1 hour to gather your things and leave this house," she said. "All of you." Lily's face went pale. Ethan said nothing. Marissa trembled. "You're choosing her over your own family," she whispered. Grandma looked at me, then back at her. "I'm choosing the person who has been a family to me." Marissa stormed inside and began ripping drawers open. The next hour unfolded like a muted film, boxes slamming, tape ripping, footsteps pounding. I stood by the door, watching silently. For the first time in my life, they moved around me, not through me, not over me, not because of me, just away from me. When they carried the last bag outside, Marissa paused. "This isn't over," she hissed, but even she didn't believe it. Grandma closed the door behind them with a calm final click.no slam.no triumph. Just closure. The silence that followed felt clean. I walked through the house slowly, touching nothing, letting the air shift around me. The walls seemed to breathe differently without them. Grandma handed me a cup of tea. "That was overdue," she said. "I know," I whispered. We drank our tea in silence, a silence I chose, not a silence I was punished with. Later, I stepped into the garden. The air smelled like lavender. I sat on the wooden steps and breathed in, for the first time in years. The breath didn't catch. Eleanor joined me quietly. Inside, the house was still, safe, mine. Marissa always believed I would land somewhere. She just never imagined that somewhere would be here, in the home she thought she'd inherit. Standing beside the one person who never erased me, when their car disappeared down the street, the house exhaled, quiet, steady, mine. The keys sat heavy and warm in my hand. For years, I thought surviving meant staying small, but the truth was simple. The day they walked out was the first day I finally walked in. If you've ever rebuilt yourself after being erased, you're not alone. Share your story below. Subscribe for more cold family tales and stay until the next chapter drops.